Let's talk Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is such a point of contention at the moment. But there's one thing that's very undeniable. He makes great action films.
I love you.
But in particular, what I wanted to talk about is how does he keep making such good sequels when almost everyone else in the industry says that sequels are just doomed to fail? Tom Cruise basically says, suck that. That's not true. Because pretty much every movie that he does that is a sequel is better than the last. That might not be one-to-one true, but there is an element of merit to that. What is it that makes Tom Cruise so special when it comes to sequels? Well, first off, Tom Cruise treats his sequels as 100% standalone films. I say 100% very loosely. There's always a thread line, like the Syndicate in Mission Impossible, but almost every single film could be watched by anyone and be enjoyed by anyone. Rather than trying to treat a sequel as a narrative driving entity that just pushes the plot forward, he treats them as a beginning to an end. And that core fact is what makes it accessible to new viewers. You can go and watch any single Mission Impossible film. You could have watched the new Top Gun Maverick film without having seen the original, without having seen all the predecessors of Mission Impossible, and you would 100% enjoy yourself. And you would most likely understand what is happening. The thread line is always at the top high level, but the plot is always unique to that film. A lot of people think that Tom Cruise is just an adrenaline junkie, and that's what these films are for. They're to quench his adrenaline thirst. Yeah, no, that's true.
Oh, no way, man. The middle of the word short is or. Or gives you a choice, and I choose not to be short.
Wow, you need a road map for that one.
But that's not the only reason why he does the things he does for film. What I'm talking about is his use of practical effects, practical stunts. This provides the audience with a sense of real danger because there is one. He always has safety protocols, but if anything goes wrong, Tom Cruise dies. 100%. Every single stunt he does, if something goes wrong, he's dead. That real sense of danger is just buried into our subconscious. There's an element of adrenaline that we feel for Tom Cruise as he is climbing a skyscraper, or as he is jumping in between buildings, or hanging onto a plane from the side, which is so unnecessary, but just so damn cool. And outside of the danger component of those practical effects, are the technical ability that we get to appreciate. Almost all of them have a purpose in the story, but in their own little small time period are just amazing to watch in their execution. You're almost fascinated how they got this done. Another thing is he's making action films that almost no one else is making. Show me the money! There are really only 3 action films at the moment, type-wise. There are the superhero films. There are the martial arts films, which are a lot more grounded than they used to. They're not as fun as, an old Jackie Chan film. And then there are the gun skill ones. Those have become aggressively popular. I'm talking about the John Wick types. But then you have the Tom Cruise film that goes completely out of those genre subcategories and does its own completely unique thing. Lastly, I want to talk about the actual films itself. There's good action, there's cool practical effects, but what people aren't giving enough credit for is the way that the story is structured. Tom Cruise makes the perfect, which I'm not saying he's the writer, by the way, but I know Tom Cruise has a lot of creative control. It is so often that you have a film that's trying to do so many different subplots, so many different major plots, all to make a film seem interesting because it has a lot of quantity in it. Tom Cruise does none of that. Almost every single one of Tom Cruise's films have a very simple plot with a lot of complex layers to it. I'm not saying it's formulaic. I'm saying that there's a baseline formula, like a math equation, that makes sense because it's interesting for the audience. Doesn't make it too muddled, doesn't make it feel like it's aimless. There's a direction, we know what it is, and then there's different layers for us to get constantly excited for. And that translates to all of his most recent films. Top Gun Maverick is a very simple film. There is a mission that they have to do. It is very difficult. He is too old to do it and too reckless. They don't have anyone that can teach these Top Gun awesome best of the best candidates. So they bring him in. He has to train them on this mission. He has like a 3-week window. Boom. It is within a very contained time period. So it's not like 6 years long. We're watching a very short window, almost a slice of life. He constantly is shooting these like slice of life action films, which is very unique to him. We get to go along the ride because he made the ride so easy to get on. Additionally, people don't give enough credit to his acting. If he was bad, it would be terrible. You would not love the film because the action is there. Tom Cruise's ability to make the movie still feel like a movie that we're watching and not just a practical effects show is what makes it exciting. And that's because of his ability to deliver a performance and his ability to get an ensemble cast that can support him very, very well and shine in their own outright. Tonally, he found a way to take out a lot of that campiness, make it feel a lot more real, a lot more raw, but not quite gritty, so that they're very exciting, but they're also still lighthearted fun, while keeping comedic beats that are perfectly woven into the film so that you're not constantly getting overdosed with just action, but have moments where you can laugh, smile, calm down for the next beat of action. So when you have something like a Top Gun Maverick, you get to have those lighthearted moments that ground him and show that he's a real person and have fun with it when they're in the bar and having a good time. Right when you're kind of feeling comfortable, you're feeling safe, he ups it 6 notches to have real effects where they're in the cockpit of the vehicle, going in between canyons, going, I think realistically what they were going was about Mach 7, Mach 7.5, which is bonkers for normal people to do. And we're just on the edge of our seat, freaking out. And then, lighthearted, emotional moment. Okay, I see their bond, I see their relationship. Oh my God, the freaking pilot did this weird corkscrew backflip thing that I didn't even know was possible. And now I just feel like a child again, fascinated by all the cool things this world has to offer. Love him, hate him. The man makes a damn good action film.